Hello, and welcome to a behind the scenes on how I made procedural generation for my game. That's not my dog, that's my neighbor's dog, I'm sorry. So, I know it might sound complicated, but to be honest with you, it was quite easy, because I think I used the simplest concept, which is the random walk. So, the concept behind it is pretty simple. You will have starting object that will look at all four directions, check if they're not occupied. If they are, they're gonna randomly go to a position that's not occupied. And then after that, it's gonna check again, and then if they find something occupied, they cannot go there. So what I have is a script that generates a random number using random.range, and then inputs that number into the index of a list of positions. Then if that position is occupied, then it's gonna re-roll another number. If it isn't occupied, then it's gonna go towards it. That's the placing done already. Now all we need now is the ability to check how many tiles we have placed, because this will allow us to do three important things. One, check if it's going to place the first tile. Second, check if it's going to place the last tile. And thirdly, you can set the amount of tiles to place. So what I did was make an integer that will take 1 up every time it places a tile. And that's honestly all there is. After that, we can base in the logic of if this is equals to 1, which means it's the first one, and other important stuff. Now, all I had to do now was make an emergency soft lock feature where it will check if all four possible directions are occupied, and then it'll just end the program here even though it has more tiles to place. Because if it don't do this, the program will crash, because it will continuously try to go to a position even if there are no valid positions. And then after that, you can modify it a bit, maybe add some delay per placing of the tiles, which is what I did because it looks cooler, I think, that way. So that's placing the floors done for now. You might notice that if you only follow this, and it's a pretty thin straight line because it doesn't expand and it doesn't place in the walls. And to do those, you need a second script, which I aptly called wall generator. So what the wall generation does is that it's going to take a list of positions, it's going to check if any of those are unoccupied, and if that position is unoccupied, then it's going to place the thing that you want to place. It's going to instantiate something, in this case the wall. However, this doesn't really solve the thin path issue that we have. So what did I do to rectify this? The answer is actually really simple. You just have to make the initial floors summon more floors. Alright? After it summons those floors, the floors that it summoned will then summon the wall. Alright? So what happens is it goes floor into wall. And that's basically done for the generation. You can modify it a bit more by making the initial generator taking a list of things to spawn instead of just a floor. So how did I make the sprites though? As you can see early on, I already had logic for the sprites. I used this script called wall sprite handler, which will handle the wall sprites. What it does is it'll just check beneath it using the same logic as before. It'll check beneath it and only beneath it. Alright, it's gonna check for three conditions. One, there's a wall beneath it. If there is a wall, use use a sprite that's for the top of the wall. If it's empty, then use a sprite as if it's the top of the wall. Now, if there is a floor beneath it, use the sprite with the shadow. So that should give the 3D effect. And for the minor graphics update that I made, you can see it uses random sprites now. The difference is, instead of only having one sprite, they have a list of sprites and then it just randomly selects from that list. This is true for the floor tiles, the wall tiles, and even for the crates that appears randomly on the map. So that's what I have with the map generation for now. I hope you guys got something out of it. I think, I don't know, nobody really watches these videos, to be fair.